Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 34 of the Hilltop Sports Report podcast. My name is Jumpin' Jack Carlson, your host, and this is a very special episode of the Hilltop Sports Report podcast. Why, you might ask? Well, the Cornell Rams volleyball team is getting set to play in the NCAA Division III volleyball tournament this upcoming Thursday against Millikan in the regional quarterfinal in Michigan. Clare Green, the all-time leader in assists here in Cornell volleyball history, is my very special guest on this episode of the podcast. So let's not waste any time. Let's hit the music and start the show.
Let's go Rams! Let's go Rams!
So as I mentioned in my intro, Clare Green, the senior from Rochelle, Illinois, is my very special guest on this episode of the podcast. First of all, Clare, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me, Jack.
Okay, so Clare is pretty much a GOAT when you think about Cornell volleyball, folks. She set the record for career assists earlier this year in a game right here inside the Small Athletic and Wellness Center, and Clare has been the setter for the Rams each of her 4 seasons, and she's taken on a leadership role even more here in this 2024 campaign. So Clare, going into this Thursday matchup against Millikan, the Rams faced the Big Blue right here in Mount Vernon in 2023 in the regional quarterfinal. The Rams won that match 3-1. What are the emotions for you and for the team going into this NCAA tournament?
I would say we're very excited. We had our little rough patch in the middle of season, so just getting out of there and then going to conference and winning and making it back to the tournament is kind of a relief for all of us. And going into this, playing them last year, we are even more excited and want to win even more since we have already beaten them once in the past.
Absolutely, and this is a return trip to Hope, who is the host school for this NCAA tournament regional that the Rams will be playing in. You went there your freshman year in 2021. You and Isla Perez-Johnson are the lone holdovers from that team. So describe that experience for you and how neat is it going to be going back to that location?
I know yesterday when we heard we were going to Hope, me and Isla were super excited to go there because we're like, it's kind of like a full circle moment all coming together since we went there together so many years ago. And we just love their campus, and it's so pretty. We're so excited to go back. The inside jokes we have from going there 3 years ago still are said today.
Absolutely. And speaking of that season, freshman season, back in 2021, probably feels like an eternity ago for you now, but you came onto campus and pretty much from day one, you became the setter here as a freshman, and you've really excelled in that role as the statistics and accolades show. So describe that freshman year for you. How did you end up here at Cornell College? And then describe how you got that setter position.
I came to Cornell College because Coach reached out to me when I was a junior in high school, and at first I was like, it's a little far, I don't want to go, so I didn't say yes right away. It took a few months of him really trying to get me to go here, and then once I made the decision, I was like, didn't expect to set right away. I was like, I'll have to work my way up, I'm a freshman, I'll put in the time, and hopefully maybe when I'm an upperclassman I'll get playing time. And just the way it played out, I ended up being the only setter that year, and I knew there was really big shoes to fill, especially with the upperclassmen that year being like Rory, who I looked up to, and playing with Sydney. So I just wanted to do the best for them and put in the work that year, really trying to help out.
Absolutely, and you've really helped out this program. That's pretty much an understatement, Clare. Here in the country, you're 40th nationally in assists this season. Just fantastic stuff, and your assists per set are tops in Cornell volleyball history in terms of assists as well, tops in the program. In no matter the season, no matter the career, Clare Green is number 1. So you are a leader here on this 2024 edition of Cornell Rams volleyball. When did you see those leadership traits start to pull forward for you in your career? Was it early on as an underclassman, or is that something that has been developed here going into your junior and senior seasons?
I would say as an underclassman, I was more of a quiet leader, lead by example and actions, not necessarily my words. I've always been more of a reserved person. But this year, and especially a little bit of last season too, I really tried to start encouraging more and be more vocal about my leadership as well as leading by example, because I can't expect my teammates to do it if I'm not doing it myself.
Yeah, and describe the relationship that you have with your teammates this season, especially the freshmen who come into this program and look to you as a senior for advice and just how to approach a college volleyball season. What sort of moments have there been for you this season, and how special has that been?
I've really tried to take the freshmen under my wings because I know it can be stressful, coming into a college volleyball program, especially one that's doing really well and has a lot of expectations for itself, but there's fun in the stress, and that each day, even though we're working hard, it's always fun and trying to enjoy like the little moments with them and show them, hey, like we can still do this, like it's still fun, like don't get overwhelmed by it your first day.
Absolutely, and you're somebody who really embraces the process. You have your entire career here at Cornell College. But take us into the early part of this 2024 season. Obviously, it wasn't the start that the Rams wanted, but at the same time, it's a very tricky strength of schedule for the Rams early on in the season. Losing 10 of your first 14 matches, and then rattling off 15 wins in your last 16 going into the postseason. Talk about hitting your stride at the right time. Describe, though, that start to this season and how important it was to keep that positive mindset.
Yeah, I don't think we realized how tough our schedule was. In our eyes at first, it was just kind of like loss after loss after loss, which was a little tough to take. And then taking a step back, we realized we do have this tough schedule. It is making us better. And then when we saw the wins coming, we're like, so it was better in the long run for us. This improved. In the time, it was very tough. Like, we had a lot of heart-to-hearts as a team. And we worked through it, and I think that made us better in the long run and just even closer.
Yeah, and to your point, the Rams faced 9 tournament teams throughout the regular season. The Rams got a couple of wins against those tournament teams too, a couple of which are in Cornell's regional there at Hope. So describe your emotions with your upperclassmen teammates, specifically Isla Perez-Johnson, the 5th year from Bettendorf, Iowa, who herself is climbing the record charts in Cornell volleyball history. How important has she been for you here on the Hilltop?
She's my role model and best friend on the team. I can't imagine doing it without her. We've been through it together. We like to joke, we're the 2 OGs. Just having been here from each other's day one and being able to lean on each other has been so amazing.
Absolutely. And now from an upperclassman to the freshman, let's talk about Mia Tubbs and Allie Olmstead. Talk about making an impact similar to you, your freshman season. Those two have really kicked down the door here in 2024. Allie, second team all-conference as a freshman. Mia knocking on the door here as a freshman as well. Describe what they have done and how impressive it has been here as freshmen.
I'm so proud of them because from seeing them in preseason the first week, you could see the nerves a little bit, but just could see how good that they could be, and just the improvement they've made has been amazing. They're already starting to help lead the team too and help the other freshmen get better as well.
Yeah, so you were first team all-conference along with Isla Perez-Johnson and Ella Becker. Becky joins you on the first team this season, well-deserved as the Rams libero. She flies all over the place and gives it her best effort. Talk about Ella Becker for a little bit.
She's just an amazing player. She puts in all the work, and in my opinion, eyes, passers never get enough love or attention. They pass the ball and then the play keeps going, so you don't realize it as much, and she just does so amazing. She's so humble and keeps working to make her teammates look better. We couldn't set the ball or hit the ball without Ella Becker.
Yeah, she's so vital to the Rams, and she will be vital for the Rams upcoming later this week in that game against Milliken and potentially beyond. So now other teammates who have made all-conference. Carly Puffer made second team all-conference here as a junior, leading the conference in blocks. Describe her season and what she brings to the team.
I love Carly's passion for the game. When we're out there, if we're down a couple points, she's the one firing up our team, getting us going again, hey, snap out of it, let's go, with that tough love type of thing, and I love Carly for that.
Yeah, and you have been mentoring, as it were, a couple of setters here for the Rams. Nia Howard, the sophomore from Springville, Iowa, figures to take the reins after you graduate this upcoming May. Talk about what Nia has brought to the program.
Nia's just so spunky. I love her energy, and every time when we have a timeout, she's giving me advice. It's a mutual thing. We look up to each other, we learn from each other, we better each other. She'll push her tempo and I'll push mine, and it's just a really great balance, I think, between the two of us.
Yeah, and we're just kind of running down the roster here, but Kenzie Statz, another one of the sophomore class here in 2024. She has been so impressive. Talk about bursting onto the scene as a freshman last year. She played a pivotal role last year and has returned to do so here as a sophomore. What does Kenzie do each and every day?
She is one of the most determined workers on our team. She'll be in the gym extra with her serve. I think a few months ago she goes, I want to improve my serve this year. I want my serve to be really good, and she was in the gym working on it, and I think it's shown in the games. She has one of the best serves on our team.
Yeah, and Kiana Manson, who was second team all-conference last year, this season she's found her stride during this Rams winning streak. How important is she? And talk about a bundle of energy. Kiana Manson will bring that each and every day. So describe Kiana Manson and her playing style.
I think it's nice just to have her as a power hitter out there. She'll bring the energy, good or bad. She's just as hyped for you as she is for herself. Doesn't matter who's scoring the point, she's going to cheer for her team. And it's just really cool, and especially too, she's definitely a crowd favorite, so when she gets going, the whole gym gets going.
Absolutely. And another one of the junior classes, we're just bouncing all over the place right now, but Ella McLaughlin, talk about somebody who does whatever is best for the team. Second team all-conference as a freshman, and then she's really bounced around, done a lot of things well here in her past 2 seasons. So what does Ella McLaughlin bring to the team?
She's the definition of a team player. Coach can put her back row, front row, right side, outside. She set a game this year even a little bit. She's just will do it all for her team and she's happy doing it, and it's just really like inspiring, I think, for people to see that, hey, you can step up wherever it is. You don't necessarily need to step up in your position. You can play anywhere.
100%. And now from the players to the coaching staff. You mentioned head coach Jeff Meeker, who's the all-time winningest coach, no matter the sport, here on the Hilltop. Jeff Meeker is literally the GOAT here with the Rams. So describe the impact that he has made, not only out there on the volleyball court, because obviously you've become a tremendous player here in the program, but also as a person, what impact he has made.
I think he's really helped my mindset in life. Every day in the gym, he's reminding us to be grateful and be where your feet are, and I had never thought about that before coming to college, and it's just made me appreciate everything more in life, especially as a senior this season, like being where my feet are, appreciating every practice, because eventually, like, I don't get to do it, and he's just really instilled that value in me.
One thing I do want to follow up is kind of what you just mentioned, and that is, this is your last go-around here with the Rams. So are you taking moments to savor the moment and be like, this is the last MWC regular season game that I'm going to play in. Last time I get to play in front of home fans here at the SAW. Describe what that has been like for you. Are you taking moments, or are you just kind of taking it day by day?
I'm trying to appreciate the moments and take them in. At some points I even catch myself like complaining a little bit, like, oh, like I have to go to practice today, but then I want to change my mindset. And it's like, what a privilege it is that I get to go to practice. What a privilege it is that I get to complain about going to practice, and just really appreciating it that way and seeing that I am so lucky to be here.
Absolutely, and we're lucky to have you here on the Hilltop. You mentioned Sydney Meeker, who's now an assistant coach with the Rams, but she wasn't always that assistant coach. She was a player in your freshman season. That was her 5th year here on the Hilltop. So describe the evolution of Sydney Meeker and how important she is to the team, just mentally and also with her coaching.
I love playing with Sydney. She was so much fun to play with and just always a competitor, and she still is a competitor as a coach. We'll be doing drills before practice, and she'll join in to play just because she loves to play, and it makes all of us compete. She'll be sometimes the loudest one in the gym, even as our coach. And I just think she really brings out the competitiveness in people. She wants to win. Doesn't matter if she's on the court or coaching us, she's going to push us to be better.
That's a fantastic mindset. And another member of the staff here for the Rams is Paul Hageman, who is technical director. Now he's on the staff here in 2024. What does Paul bring to the team?
Paul is more of that cool, quiet, calm. Any of us can go to him to talk about anything, and he'll comfort us, make us feel better. He's just a nice person to have on our court. He's super knowledgeable about volleyball, and eventually he's going to lead us in one of our timeouts. We're making him.
Okay, yeah, that's going to happen. Okay, Paul, I know you're watching. You're going to have to lead a timeout one of these days. And rounding out that coaching staff, Olivia Salisbury, a student manager. What does she bring to the team?
She's always in the gym with us. She's putting in the work, and it's nice to see she's helping shag balls. She's helping tossing balls into drills. So just having her always there and still a part of the team, there's no difference between her and the other freshmen and helping the team make progress points. 100%.
And now for you. As a student athlete, you have to be both here on the Hilltop. And Clare Green is 3-time All-Midwest Conference, counting on you to make that 4-time. No, she'll handle business here as a senior. How important is it for you to balance academics, but at the same time have a rigorous practice schedule, game schedule in season?
It's really just about knowing when your free time is and having to get the homework done in that time. I set high standards for myself on the court, and honestly high standards for myself in the classroom that I want to meet, and just having those set and making it the mindset that you're going to meet them is how it gets done.
And Clare Green is a perfect example of setting yourself up well after college. This past summer, she had an internship in Cedar Rapids, and now she's going to be able to work at that place this upcoming year after she graduates. So describe that position and the experience that you're going to gain.
This summer, I was an accounting intern at the company, and then in the middle of season, actually probably in about October, they called me and told me that the lady I was working with in the summer was retiring and offered me her full-time senior accounting job. And so I'll shadow her again for a summer and start right away next fall.
Well, congratulations to Clare Green. Can't wait to see what you do and know you're going to crush it wherever you go. So one final thing here before we step aside here on the podcast. What is your message for the team as one of the leaders going into this Thursday meeting against Milliken, and really your last go around with the Rams here coming down towards the final stretch? What's the message to the team?
I want us to give it our all. We're supposedly the underdogs. Embrace the underdog mindset and come out ready to give it our all every game.
Absolutely. Well, wishing Clare and the Rams nothing but the best this weekend in Michigan. Know the Rams are going to leave it all out there on the court. We'll be proud watching here from Mount Vernon. And some of us will try and make the trip up to Michigan to cheer on as well. So thank you, Clare, for your time on this podcast.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, so that's Clare Green, the Midwest Conference Player of the Year here in 2024 and Cornell's all-time leader in assists. No matter the season, no matter the career, Clare Green is number one all-time on the record books list. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast, and be sure to follow along as the Rams head to Hope for this weekend's regional, and we'll have the results of those matches coming up on CornellRams.com, so stay locked and loaded on that, and follow the Cornell Rams social media platforms as to when the next episode of the Hilltop Sports Report will drop. Special thanks to Clare Green, good luck to the Rams, and I'll see you next time.
Let's go Rams! Let's go